Okay, so the Yankees just signed Tim Hill, came to an agreement with him on a 1 year contract with an option. It's $2.85 million in total, 2.5 this year. There's a $3 million option in 2026 with a $350,000 buyout. No surprise, right? Tim Hill, after not pitching well for the White Sox last year, got picked up by the Yankees. One of the things the Yankees are very, very good at is cleaning up relief pitchers and getting the most out of them. Someone like Clay Holmes came to the Yankees, Jake Cousins, who also failed with the White Sox, Ian Hamilton, who failed with the White Sox, Jonathan Loáisiga, who was a minor league free agent guy. They've just had a lot of success, Luke Weaver. So Hill is signed. It gives the Yankees a lefty in the bullpen. Though it should be noted that with Luke Weaver and Devin Williams at the end of the games, both of them are really good against lefties. So I would assume those two guys are going to handle the last 6 outs when the Yankees are ahead, unless one of them isn't available. And Hill will be more of an attack dog, 7th inning and earlier. But he's somebody who proved he could handle leverage of not only a game, but pitching in New York last year. So he was a valuable return to the team. What does it mean in the big picture? So the Yankees have a lot of pitching congestion, and I think that's going to lead to some movement between now and the beginning of the season. And one of the things to remember is transactions don't end the day spring training begins next week. Transactions go to the end. Remember, the Yankees got John Birdie as they broke camp last year when they used an out-of-options catcher, Ben Rodford, to do a 3-way trade to get him. And so just something to keep in mind. Obviously, the big one you're looking at is Marcus Stroman, who's due $18 million this year and has an $18 million vesting option if he pitches 140 innings in 2025. That would be for 2026. The Yankees clearly want to move as much of that contract as possible. There's still a lot of starting pitching in the free agent market. So do they use it? Do they wait into spring training, get all that free agent pitching off the market, and then suddenly, bang, a contender loses a starter? Maybe they're able to trade a portion of Stroman's contract and then use that money elsewhere. Because I'm even a tad surprised that Hal Steinbrenner was willing to open up. He clearly is containing the team's payroll in about this area, which is the low 300 millions. I'm sure it would go up at the trade deadline if he needed to, but the other way to create money is to trade someone like Stroman. But keep in mind some other stuff going into this. If the season started today, the Yankees would probably have to put like Jake Cousins and Scott Efros, who have options, in the minor leagues, because they're not just going to release Stroman. They'd probably put him in the bullpen. Don't forget, they rehab JT Brubaker, who they probably feel has some Luke Weaver qualities to him. Is he a guy who might start for them at some point? Is he a guy who, like Weaver, would get more comfortable and be using the bullpen? He has no options left. Yoendris Gomez, no options left. He feels very much like a trade candidate between now and the beginning of the season as an included piece, maybe someplace else. Jonathan Loáisiga, who has been very good for the Yankees. He's likely to begin the season on the injured list. He's coming back from elbow surgery, but you're going to have to create a roster spot. And I know injuries come along the way, but just as you're thinking about the traffic jam for the Yankees and pitching, are they going to be able to use, say, a Mark Leiter Jr., an Ian Hamilton as part of a trade someplace to perhaps, we know what the stuff they still need. They want to try to find at least some optionality at second or third base, depth-wise, or a starter at third base if it turns out nobody can handle that and Jazz Chisholm ends up back at second base, and or a backup catcher, or just more prospect collateral to use someplace else. So I do think they want to have a nice deep bullpen as always, and they could keep everybody in, but that becomes a little tougher if Stroman and Brubaker are around and you're not losing them, because those guys are kind of long relievers, and it's hard to just have those guys sitting in your bullpen. Maybe someone like Brubaker to, like in the Weaver, kind of grow into it role he did last year. But I would suspect that Hill, which gives them the lefty and deepens the bullpen, means that they'll be doing something between now and opening day against Milwaukee in late March, where they use some bullpen depth to go and address some other needs.